Amesy here of Amesy's Antics. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're well today because I have a sweet treat to share with you, and one that is perfect for this time of year of Halloween and bonfire night, especially in the UK and my household anyway. So I have an easy honeycomb recipe, otherwise known as Cinder Toffee, to share with you. So if you would like to see this easy honeycomb recipe, then let's get baking. So to make the honeycomb or cinder toffee, you are going to need 200 grams of golden caster sugar, 100 grams of golden syrup, and 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda, as well as a candy thermometer or a meat thermometer that goes up high enough. The first thing to do is prepare the baking tin that the honeycomb is going to set in. So you want to get a deep enough tin, I think mine's a 20 centimetre one, I'm not quite sure. Grease it with some butter and then place in some grease-proof paper, and this should just help stick the grease-proof to the tin. And then you also want to just grease up the greaseproof paper a little bit more with some more butter, just so that you can release the honeycomb later on. Then you want to weigh out the ingredients that you need. So that is again 200 grams of golden caster sugar and 100 grams of golden syrup. Now I like to weigh them out separately before adding them to the pan, just so you can account for any errors. It's easy to weigh them out beforehand. Then you want to use a heavy bottomed saucepan, placing this on the hob and adding in your sugar followed by the golden syrup, making sure that you scrape as much of that golden syrup out of the bowl as possible into that pan. Now once they are both added to the pan, you just want to gently stir them together, remembering this isn't on any heat at the minute, and just stir them together. This will be the only stirring that you do now. You don't want to stir it at all whilst it is heating. Then you want to turn up your pan onto a medium heat and allow all of the golden syrup and sugar to melt into each other and really reduce down to a bubbly, gooey mess. Once the sugar and golden syrup have dissolved together, you then want to crank up the heat and allow the mixture to really bubble. Then you want to take a measurement of the temperature, and you want to get the sugar to 140 degrees centigrade or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches this temperature, you then want to turn it off the heat and begin adding in your bicarbonate of soda. Now you need to work quickly with this bit, so I'm adding 1.5 teaspoons here to the sugar, and then using a whisk to combine the bicarbonate of soda in. And as you can see, it already started reacting a little bit before I'd even put the whisk in. So give it a good mix together, and don't worry if some of the sugar's caught on the side, it won't taint the taste too much unless you really burn it, but this one tasted lovely. So whisk it in and it'll go really bubbly like a big volcano. And like I say, you need to work quickly. So then once you have mixed it all in, you then want to get it straight into your prepared tin. So gently place this into the tin, and as you'll see, this does blob down a little bit, but don't worry, it does even out and becomes one big slab. Get as much of the mixture as you can out of the pan into that tin, and then allow it to cool completely, and the honeycomb or cinder toffee will harden up, and this will take a few hours to do. It doesn't take too long, to be fair. Once it is hardened, you then want to remove it from the tin and place it onto a chopping board with the greaseproof paper still underneath, and just peel this away slightly so that you can reveal some of your Cinder Toffee. Then using a sharp knife, you can just try and chop into it to break it into pieces. Now this worked for some of the little bits, so as you can see it does break away quite easily and has that lovely texture that Cinder Toffee and Honeycomb has. But then on other parts it was a bit more dense and the knife I used wouldn't go through, so I opted to use a rolling pin to bash it a little bit. So place a bit of greaseproof paper over the top just to protect it, and then go in with your rolling pin and give it a good whack. Now I found this method didn't work too well, it just dinted the honeycomb, but you may have better luck than I did. So what I did, because obviously it didn't make much impact, I got a better knife and then just went at the honeycomb and made it go into lots of different pieces in varying sizes. And once it is all cut up, the easy honeycomb recipe is complete and ready to be enjoyed. If you want to keep this, you can place it in an airtight container for up to a week before it starts to soften, I think. But yes, you can then enjoy it. So there you have an easy honeycomb recipe to try out at home, otherwise known as Cinder Toffee. Now I did a little bit of research around this because I know it as Cinder Toffee more than honeycomb, but apparently there are a few more names for this from around the world. So you also have hokey pokey, I think because you get all the different holes in it, and you also can be called sponge toffee because of the appearance. It looks a little bit like a sponge. Whatever you want to call it, it is absolutely delicious. And if you know, especially here in the UK, I don't know if there's something similar or else around the world, but we have a chocolate bar called the Crunchie, which is honeycomb in the inside and then covered in chocolate. It's delicious. And this tastes exactly like that without the chocolate. So if you did want to remake that chocolate bar, you could cover these in chocolate as well and have an extra special treat. Delicious. So yes, let me know what you think of this video in them comments below, and whether you'll be giving this recipe a go or you've made your own. Let me know in them comments. And if you enjoyed the video, then please do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with more of my creative and crafty antics coming on to the channel. I also have another sweet treat to share with you next week, so make sure you hit that notification bell as well so it'll alert you when it has gone live. I also have a blog, Ames's Antics, which is linked down below and up above for you to check out as well. Sometimes there's just a little bit more information over on the blog. And with that said, I will see you in next week's video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week, are able to do something creative and crafty, like maybe make your own honeycomb / Cinder Toffee, and just have a really nice week. Until the next one, bye!